many theories and suspicions. I'm diagnosed with real nigga conditions. Today is the day I follow my intuition. Keep the family close, get money for bitches.
Where'd you learn how to edit? Through the internet or school, and since when? Good question, Sam. I was self-taught. I just researched nonstop all through college, really. When I was supposed to be taking classes and studying, I learned about cameras and filming and stuff, which wasn't even my major. So to answer your question, self-taught all through the internet 4 years ago. Will you ever make a legit mini movie on YouTube, sort of how Casey Neistat does his projects? Good question, Harris. Yes, absolutely. I really want to make a short film for whenever I travel, and I'm just trying to figure out how the best way to go about it, because I still want to do the Rambling Road episodes and then also do like a short film or a highlight film or just a project totally separate on the culture or just the nature of wherever place I end up or I travel to. Why don't you make some short films and enter some film contests or something? Or you can work in movies as a cinematographer. You are extraordinary at what you do. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I haven't entered any film contests yet, but I want to. I applied to D-Rock's position. I applied to First Form. I don't think I got either of those positions. For some reason, movies don't really interest me that much right now. That could totally change. There's something about YouTube having 100% creative freedom. I can make whatever I want. And in movies, I wouldn't have that kind of freedom. So probably not movies, but you never know. I don't know where life will take me. I'll definitely enter some film contests when I feel like I have a project that's worth viewing or I really want to push hard. And I feel like I haven't really done a project that I really want to push, if that makes sense. But soon. Absolutely. Advice for starting a YouTube channel. The key is to be known for something. Why would people want to go to your channel? And I'm still struggling with that myself. I'm starting to narrow it down more and more and get a better idea of where I want to take this channel, but I'm still trying to narrow it down even further. I think if you could do that right off the bat, that's going to help you succeed a little bit faster than most people. And then the key is to work your absolute tail off. You know, you should not expect any kind of subscribers or views or anything until you've made 100 videos. And if you have that mindset, you'll be okay. What has been the most difficult part of your experience with YouTube, Nick? The most difficult part about YouTube is creating something you put your heart and soul into, putting it out there for people to view and have nobody give a shit about it. That's hard to take in, especially doing it over and over and over again. You really gotta love it and you gotta push. Just keep pushing until you start getting views and subscribers. Besides growing your channel, where do you see yourself in the future? Ever think about trying to get into bigger projects like documentaries, shows, or movies? If you've got some serious talent, I definitely think it's only a matter of time before your channel explodes. Also, next vacation, your Mexico series was great. I'm gonna be on vacation June 23rd through July 2nd. I'm going to Arizona and Utah to do a national park road trip / camping trip. That's gonna be the next big Rambling Road series. I'm hoping to do what I did in Mexico and then also create like a short film. I've already answered a little bit of your question, but I do want to get into really higher end projects, especially when I travel. Do I want to get into shows and movies? Probably not. Rambling Road is my show, and I'm trying to make it as high end as I possibly can while still documenting my life, which is very difficult to do and it takes up a lot of time. All right, Leah, I'm going to answer a couple of your questions. If you could change one thing about YouTube, what would it be? And then what's one show on Netflix you say I have to see? They need to do a better job of allowing smaller channels, giving smaller channels more opportunities to grow. They're taking a step in the right direction by having that featured page for up and coming YouTubers, which is really good to see, but I think they just need, I would like them to do more of it. What's a really good show that you'd have to see? If you haven't seen Breaking Bad, which is like one of my favorite shows ever, watch House of Cards. It's incredible, especially if you love Kevin Spacey, you'll love him even more. What is your goal with your channel? Is it just for a hobby, connect with people, business, personal journal? I don't want to seek validation with people, so I like to keep my goals to myself, but essentially I'm trying to create I'm trying to create a business around YouTube. I don't want to be just known as a cinematographer. I want to have a bunch of revenue streams, and I like business, and I have that entrepreneurial mindset. And I do have a passion project that I'm going to be working on and documenting and sharing with all of you very soon. Something I've been wanting to do for a long time, well before YouTube. To answer your question, initially it was just a hobby, and now I treat it as a full-time job, even though I don't get paid like a full-time job, but I'm treating it that way. And I want it to become a full-time job, and I want this to be something I do for a very long time and have this be my main focus. If you could only film YouTube videos using an iPhone and iMovie, how would you maximize what you could do? With the iPhone and iMovie, you can do a lot because iPhone's video quality is so good, and you don't need anything fancy with iMovie. So I've said it before, I'll say it again, your story has to kick ass. And it's actually probably best if you start off with just a phone and iMovie, because it'll force you to create amazing content, because no one's gonna watch it otherwise. Getting into more of the tech stuff, you can find like a pretty cheap gimbal or stabilizer for your phone if you want to do that. You can also learn how to color grade your footage. Even though it's just an iPhone, you can still color grade it. You can still add some more shadows, which will create more of that cinematic look and kind of knock down your whites or your highlights a little bit, because iPhones tend to kind of blow out whites a little bit too much. So take down the whites, add some more shadow. It'll create some more richness with your picture. But content, man, content. What camera would be best for starting YouTube channel? This is a little generic. I say that because it depends on your budget. But if you're just starting off, my philosophy is take whatever camera you have at the moment. If it's your phone, I'm sure it is, maximize the quality with that phone. And what I mean by that is, let's say you watch someone and they filmed a project with just their phone and it looks better than yours. Well, you haven't reached the potential of that phone yet. And that's what I'm doing with my cameras too. I felt like I reached my potential with that Canon Rebel. That was my first DSLR. And so it was time for me to move on to bigger and better things. And so I got the Sony a7S II. But I still feel like I haven't reached the potential that this camera can really get to. And once I have maxed the potential, and I know the ins and outs, I feel like then I can graduate and get a bigger and better camera. Gimbal review or thoughts, practical for vlogging, easy to use. My gimbal, it's phenomenal. I don't know if you guys are really paying attention, but a lot of the fitness YouTubers are starting to get the same gimbal I'm getting. I don't know if that's a coincidence or if someone is watching me, I don't know. But there's a reason for that. It's a really great gimbal. It's 600 bucks. Sounds like a lot because it's an expensive selfie stick per se, but it's not for what you get for it. You can flip it on. You don't even need to balance it if you don't want to, although I recommend it. But technically you don't even need to balance it. You can just turn it on and boom, it's gonna start working. I highly recommend the gimbal, but again, it's not necessary. If your content sucks and you don't know composition, rule of thirds, color grading, regardless of the gimbal, your shit's still gonna suck. So work on maximizing the equipment that you have, and then once you have, then start adding in things. What's the best camera and mic to buy to make short films if your budget is super low? Good question, Jennifer. I'm gonna pretend that you want something better than your iPhone or your phone. So what I would do is I would get a Canon Rebel T3i, just the body, forget the kit lens, and then get a 50mm 1.8 Canon lens. I think it's like 125 bucks or something like that. Get the cheap version. For your mic, I would get a Video Micro. That rig right there is like 450 bucks, and it's gonna take your videos to the next level. That's pretty much the rig I used for a long time, and it's super solid. And if you don't believe me, go over to DSLR Guide's channel. He's got like 450 to 500,000 subscribers, something like that, and he's still using a Canon Rebel T3i. Check that channel out if you don't believe me. In the market for a one-size-fits-all video rig under $800, and I'm leaning towards the Canon G7X Mark II, but I'm open to suggestions. Tired of recording YouTube vids on my phone. Trevor, I understand. Good question. If you want something super compact, I won't argue, that's a good setup. But if you don't mind getting something a little bit bigger, like DSLR kind of size, I'd check out the Panasonic, I think Lumix, I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not really sure, G7. That is the best 4K camera you can get that's under $600. So if you want to be shooting in 4K, since your budget is under $800, go with that camera. It's awesome. For your top 3 burrito video, did you use your drone to get the Chicago shots above? I'm working on a video myself and was wondering, feedback would be appreciated. Yeah, those were all drone shots, illegal drone shots. Being a cinematographer, what frustrates you the most about the YouTube fitness industry in terms of quality content creation? Oh my God, what a question. This is gonna be fun to answer. I don't know where to begin, really. I've been watching YouTube fitness for 5 years, more than 5 years, and I've stopped. I don't really watch YouTube fitness anymore. What frustrates me the most is the lack of creativity. Absolutely blows my mind. All these channels are kind of morphing into one channel. It's just all the same, really. For example, if one person uses a teal and orange color grade, well then everyone uses a teal and orange color grade. It's hard to tell what channel I'm watching, really. I mean, it really doesn't frustrate me. That doesn't bother me. I just don't watch anymore. It's as simple as that. I think the only thing that is different is the person's personality and the location, but everything else is just kind of the same. The same intro, kind of the same content, different people, and then, you know, similar outro. I don't know, that's just my opinion. I've been watching for a long time, but maybe I'm just kind of tired. I don't know. But I hope I answered your question. Just lack of creativity. That's really all it comes down to.
Darling, I told you many times, and now I'm telling you once again, just